Welcome back to Magic Gathering Strat. I'm Bava. Um, so I play a little Solforge, and I've done a few Solforge videos on the channel. But I don't really like the fact that they only have one constructed, and you really need legendaries to do that, and legendaries are hard to get, and the game's kind of expensive anyway. For me, a budget player. But they are having a Weekend Warrior Unheroic, and that means that the two highest rarity levels, Heroic and Legendary, are off the table for deck construction. So it's a budget format for Solforge, which I'm all into. So I'm going to run an Unheroic tournament, and we're going to jump in. Now I have a couple decks that I like here. I'm not familiar enough with Solforge to really make a competitive deck, and I lose at Solforge enough that I don't necessarily want to enter crap in an unheroic tournament. So I do net deck. Forgive me, but my opinion is if you're not familiar enough with the game, net decking is the best way to get familiar with it. And we're going to play this Upshot Necroyan Utera Proto, which won a unheroic tournament recently, going 4-0. So let's just select that. And yeah, let's jump in. I am playing the Pauper Daily in Magic right now, but we're between rounds and I'm playing Goblins, so they go really quickly. So we should have time to play one round in our Unheroic before we get going. The idea of this particular deck is to, and the reason I like it, is to get these big creatures and then buff them up with Trample, basically, Breakthrough, and make it. So this Batterhide guy is one of the main ones. Consistent is one of the new mechanics that came out in the set, and that means that after you've gotten the guy to consistent, he's more likely to show up again later. So when you level these guys, you're more likely to see them, which is pretty awesome. And we're playing against sort of the boogeyman of the format right now, which is this Defender combo. So these Defenders are huge for their levels, and then you get something like a Jetpack or this other guy that makes them lose Defender, and so they can actually attack. So these guys who are meant to have Defender, when they lose it, they're pretty freaky. But Spirit Cleave works well to get rid of them. We don't necessarily need that right now. We want to level up our Batterhide, and we'll grab a Swamp Moss Lurker. I'm learning a little bit more about Solforge as I go. One thing I know is that guys that don't attack, you don't want to put something in front of them because your opponent has a number of cards that they can do to change the math that you're figuring on before they hit their little battle button down here. So the point is that the math's never going to work out exactly the way that you want it to. So putting this guy here, not necessarily great. That guy there, eh. The other new mechanic that we got is Overload. These cards are basically one-use cards. So this card will overload doing its ability, and then it will shuffle itself out of my deck, and I'll never see it again. The Zithian Direhound is the same way. And then the other guy that I like is these guys, and they make it so that if you play them later on in the game, even though they haven't ranked up, they still have these good abilities. So the thing that I really like about is this mechanic that allows it so that our cards are all good in the late game. We do want to play Dizzy Siphon here, I think, and we'll get rid of her and we'll buff our guy. Buffing the guy with breakthroughs, generally pretty sweet move. And we can either do the Lysian Shard or we can just get the other Batterhide. Go ahead and get the guy for now. Bring it in. It's a little loud, I'm sorry. So what else do we have here? This guy's pretty much a great level 1, and then he sucks for level 2 and 3. But he's a 7/7 breakthrough, and just having a breakthrough guy can be really good. We looked at him He's a one-use 5/5 creature, and he gives a creature -5/-5, and then he shuffles himself out. Zillion Rotfiend. Ooh. Alright, that's fine. Dizzy Siphon will kill this guy. This guy's just nice and big. He's got a downside, but he's nice and big. So, that's totally okay. I want to level up my siphons, so I'm going to kill this guy, and we will make a bigger Batterhide. And then we'll grab a Rotfiend and just keep being aggressive here. And yeah, we're off to a pretty good start. We're already 24 points up. Spirit Cleave is going to be good because it's going to kill his guys far more often than anything else. And Seal of Deepwood is kind of one of the big finisher cards. It sucks at level 1, but at level 2 and 3 it gets consistent, and at level 3 you're giving a guy, preferably with Breakthrough, plus 18 attack and plus 18 health. That's kind of the win con. This guy gives somebody a defender. That guy gives somebody a defender. Yeah. Sure. He goes up to level 2, which is fine. We'll seal. We want to cast our Seal of Deepwood because we really want to get it to level 2. And we want to go ahead. We can't Spirit Cleave, right? Yeah, that would kill our stuff. So we get another Batterhide. Alright, level 2 Batterhide, level 2 Dizzy Siphon, level 2 Rotfiend. These are all good. And again, even getting this guy now, even though I'm at level 2 and he's level 1, he's a 5/5 that gives a guy -5/-5. So he's good almost any point in the game. But the point is to not play him early and to save him for later. Alright, so there goes that Batterhide. And there goes my Rotfiend. Yep. Well. I'm going to kill these guys. I'd rather get my level 2 Batterhide. Which we'll do. And then which one of these guys do we want to kill? Well, this guy doesn't do anything when he's out, does he? When he enters the field, and there's that guy. He's going to hit me. So go ahead and Siphon. Come on now. Oh. There we go. And keep on hitting him. The problem with this defender deck is that they really need, it's kind of a combo deck. I mean, they really need something to make these guys go off. They're big by themselves, they don't suck. But you're not hitting your opponent. The one thing I don't like about Solforge is sometimes it's hard to find out what they did. Okay, so he used a Burnout, which is an overload, 8 damage to target creature or player. So he cast Burnout, a little hard to see that. Huh. I can look at my discard pile. That's nice. Alright. It's my turn. He's got an 8-1 and an 8-2. Those guys are just going to die. At some point here... This will make this guy bigger. Bing. Keep on getting in every turn for as much damage as we can. Alright, so level 2 Seal, we're starting to get good. You can see where this consistent mechanic really comes in. We're seeing a lot of Batterhides now because they are consistent at level 2 and level 3. And we got our Seal here too, which is nice. So we've got our opponent on the back foot. He's not even, he did 8 damage again. So we're just going to trade, but I'm still going to get in for 4 over that. And these guys still aren't hitting me. So not great for him. We could siphon or shard. I think I'd rather just get this batter hide and seal this batter hide and bring him down to 21 and see. All right. So this is bound to happen in Solforge, and it's something they didn't like. It's something that they really addressed with these new mechanics. Is that I'm level 2, almost level 3, and I drew all level 1 cards. But having these overload cards at level 1 means you're still getting pretty good value. So I mean, I can still get +6/+6. I can still get a 5/5 and probably kill a creature. So these are nice to draw at level 1 later in the game because they still have an impact on the game. So this defender deck's all over the place. There's one of the guys that makes it so a guy loses defender and can't get it anymore. He also has a lot of power, so he's a pretty good guy. But I mean, we just win right here, right? So that's that. He only hit me for 8 right there at the end. I wanted to be more of the aggro problem deck than anything. So we can check out the list here real quick, which is this one by Upshot. So a couple Spirit Cleave, Swamp Moss Lurker, Shardbound Invoker, Dizzy Siphon, Batterhide, Seal of Deepwood, Lysian Shard. You pretty much saw everybody. The thing about Solforge is the decks are pretty small. If you're running a 30-card deck and you're having 3 ofs, you could only have potentially 10 different cards. It turns out we have 11 different cards because we're running 2 ofs of 3 of them. But yeah, so they're pretty small decks, really. Much like Magic, where you're running 4 ofs and a lot of land. You just don't need the land in Solforge. Alright, well, thanks for watching. We are now 1-0 in this Unheroic. My next round of Magic is about to start, so I'm going to get back to that. But stay tuned. We'll play rounds 2, 3, and 4 here and give you a little more taste of Solforge. This is a weekend-only thing. It's a Weekend Warrior Unheroic. I wish it was here all the time. I would play a lot more Solforge if it were, but we're going to take advantage of it while it's around. Thanks for watching. I'm Bava. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.